What is going on, TU crew, and welcome back to another episode of the Totally Unqualified podcast. This is episode 33, and we've got some great stuff for you guys today. But first and foremost, I am welcomed by the two greatest co-hosts of all time in Jake Maltese and Luke Rosenthal. How are we doing today, boys?
I mean, I'm doing great. This was the weirdest week of football I think I've ever seen. Just crazy shit. So we got plenty to talk about. And I just want to point out Luke's new professional setup. Looks great.
Thank you. I turned my desk 90 degrees. Put in a lot of work to get here, but you know what? I can put my light stick up now. So we got it.
I like it.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Luke?
Doing all right. Oh wait, was I supposed to intro something?
No, you didn't really get to say how you're doing. You just said that you turned your desk. So I figured, I'd give you the opportunity.
I'm doing great, Gage. Thanks for asking me.
Yeah,
just had a free chicken sandwich. I'm doing great, phenomenal. Also, I have an Aaron Rodgers $1 bill.
Saw that.
It was so Gage. That was the perfect timing, like the most perfect timing text ever. Gage texted me over the weekend. I was out at the mall in Syracuse and he said something about Aaron Rodgers. Can't remember what it was, but I had at that exact moment bought this $1 bill for $7, but let's not talk about it. So yeah, there it is. That was my weekend.
The richest guy on the podcast now.
Yeah. I mean, it's not really a loss. Like you're saying you paid $7 for a $1 bill. It's not like that's illegal.
It's a legal dollar bill too. Apparently
it is. Oh, yeah. Somebody I don't think you could get away with using it.
I don't think anybody would ever accept it.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Maybe.
Make Packer bucks. That's cool.
Yeah.
Woo. Might be
able to get away with
new crypto.
All right, guys. And if you are listening on Apple Podcasts, we would really appreciate the rate and review. It helps us out a ton, helps push us out to more people so we can continue to grow this amazing community. And if you're listening on YouTube, same kind of deal. If you want to like, subscribe, ring that bell so that you know when we post new episodes, we would really appreciate that. And before we get into our topics today, which we've got some pretty good ones, we're going to do the Guess That Player. You guys know we got to do it at the beginning of every episode. Are you guys ready? And I will say that we are going to go back to I'm going to make you guys ask me some questions. I'll give you the answers from there and we'll whittle it down.
I honestly like this version better, so I'm with that.
It's more challenging.
Yeah.
So what's the score? What's score 15?
12 or 13. I honestly don't know.
13. I think it's 15.
I think I have 13.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
I need. Yeah, sure. We should check. We should check this.
Yeah. We should keep track of this.
Yeah. That's probably.
That's only for. I mean, it's ending. It's ending at the end of the year anyway.
Yeah. So we're made it this far. Might as well.
Yeah.
All right. Are you guys ready?
Absolutely.
Always
okay.
Ready.
It is an NFL player, of course.
Sweet.
So, Luke, if you would like to ask the first question, have at it.
Is he playing currently?
He is playing currently.
I feel like just blurting out a player just to see how it's kind of as a heat check for these couple of weeks.
See how the chemistry is going.
Yeah. Ooh. Damn, who played well this weekend?
I don't know.
Baker Mayfield.
It is not Baker Mayfield.
Oh, you should have sold it like it was. Damn.
Oh, man. That would have been so funny.
NFC,
AFC.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, I had the conference right.
Let's get the team first. Let's get the team.
Yeah. Wait, offense or defense? Offense or defense?
He is a defensive player.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Does he play for a team with a cat name?
No.
Cat name.
Wait, is that just the Bengals? Wait,
no. Jaguars, Panthers.
Jaguars,
Panthers on the AFC.
Okay. That was a dumb question.
That wasn't a terribly dumb question. There actually are a lot of cats in the NFL. AFC defense. Damn. Did he play well this weekend?
Yes.
Okay. That kind of narrows it down.
Is it Denzel Ward?
It is not Denzel Ward.
Oh, fuck. That was a good guess. Okay. AFC North?
No.
All right. So we've been guessing the wrong division.
All right.
Who played?
Is it AFC West?
No.
All right. Let's get the division.
Oh, it's Josh Allen.
Nope.
What?
What? I said cat team.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Fuck.
Is it South? AFC South?
It is the AFC South.
All right.
Oh man, I thought I had that.
Houston didn't play well. Oh, He for sure played well this weekend. Okay.
He for sure played well this week. All right. So it is AFC South.
It is the AFC South.
Oh, cool. And the Titans played well.
Harold Landry.
No.
Fuck.
What the fuck, Gage? Oh my God.
Kevin Byard.
Nope.
No.
Jesus. Did he
I'm
go?
like shaking.
Okay. Was his college in the SEC?
Yes.
Okay. That actually narrows it down for me. No, it doesn't. Fuck.
Was Rashawn?
No.
Is Rashawn Evans still on the? He's still on the Titans.
Rashawn Evans? Is it?
He is still on the Titans. It is not Rashawn Evans.
Is it on the Titans? He's not on the Titans at this point.
He is on the
Can't
Titans.
be.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Are you serious?
I am serious.
Oh my gosh.
Is he on
Jeffrey Simmons. Jeffrey Simmons.
It is Jeffrey.
Yes. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
Oh,
He had 3 sacks on Sunday night.
that's crazy.
Yep. He played really well.
He literally just slipped my mind.
He's having kind of a breakout season.
He is. That whole him and Harold Landry too. That whole
Yeah.
Titans defense is really starting to come together.
If
Yep.
you would have said Mississippi State, I would have had his name in 20 seconds.
You didn't ask the college.
I
so
know. I asked. Yeah. Not
That's
like
part of
the
reason I wanted to
SEC.
do it this way too.
I know. Not like the SEC narrows anything down for me because that's 70% of the NFL.
All right, boys. So that bumps it up to 16
16.
13, maybe
Yeah.
if we
Good
have
job,
the-
G.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Let's just be real here. The only reason I got that is because we did complete process of elimination on that
Yeah.
Titans defense.
Yeah.
We went through
I was
every
like-
level of that Titans defense. Like that was not an impressive win for
Yeah,
me.
Jeffrey
Like, we-
Simmons,
No.
if you're somehow listening, we apologize for the
Yeah.
disrespect. that
Yeah.
just happened.
Sorry
He
about
was-
that.
You know what it was? He was drafted, and while he was hurt, he didn't, play until a little bit through his rookie year last year. He made the top 100, but he's still establishing himself as a name in the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay, to the fans especially.
Definitely this
So-
season.
Oh,
For sure.
100%.
5.5
100%.
sacks so far.
Monster. He's a beast.
All right. And with that, we are going to actually jump into week 9 of NFL football. And we're doing it a little bit different this time. If you guys have listened to us before, typically we'll just take a few games from the week before and we'll kind of talk about it and, give our takes on them. But I figured it would be better if we kind of dove into the NFL as a whole. So we're each going to give 2 of our biggest takeaways from this week and kind of discuss that. And we'll all give our opinions on that. So Jake, if you want to start us out, you can give us 1 and then we'll go all the way through all 3 of us. And then we'll go back to the top and give our other.
Yeah. So, I don't know how anybody else wouldn't have come to this conclusion, but the Falcons are just a better franchise in every way than the Saints. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That was a joke.
Good take. Good take.
No.
Everyone jabs.
Yeah. My take is going to be that Odell and Baker had the most cursed combination I have ever seen in all of football. And it has just been, it's the most unexplainable thing I've seen in sports since Jeremy Lin. It's since Linsanity. That I literally can't explain it any other way.
It is really odd. It's weird how as soon as they split, Baker Mayfield plays really well. And I'm hoping the same thing for Odell, obviously. Even if he doesn't end up coming to the Saints, I'd like to see him play well again just because he was such a great player back on the Giants. So I'd like to see him kind of get back to that form. Yeah. But it is weird.
Who would have
really
thought that DPJ and Baker Mayfield would have a better connection than OBJ and Baker Mayfield? Who would have thought?
Especially Baker Mayfield and Rashard Higgins. Rashard Higgins is his guy. I just don't get it. I mean, you would think any quarterback wants a super talented receiver, but this kind of just proves that how important chemistry is. In the complete opposite side of the spectrum, we see what Joe Burrow's doing with Jamar Chase. So that just shows you no matter how talented the guy is, if you don't have chemistry, for any reason whatsoever, because I don't think anybody can explain why they didn't have chemistry. They worked out together. They seem to get along for the most part until really the end there. And I don't know. It just didn't work out. But you know what? Baker, I wonder if this continues. I wonder if that this would be so. I'm so sorry, Odell, but this would be fucking hilarious if Baker just started. If Baker just started playing like second half Baker from last year and just tore through the NFL, and everybody's like, "Holy shit, this man is good." It was just Odell holding a talented receiver was holding him back. How is that? How crazy is that?
Odell, if you want to join a team that has great chemistry, totally unqualified. If you're listening right now, we've got this fourth other box down here, for anybody to come join us. So.
On reserve.
You or Adam Rink, either one of us. Whoever calls first. Whoever calls first. By the way, I just want to mention that we could be, since we're recording at 8:14 p.m., Odell Beckham Jr. could sign with any three of our teams during the podcast. I think the Saints, Seahawks, and Packers are pretty much like the three options here. Maybe the Raiders.
I've heard the Patriots as well. I haven't heard
waivers.
He cleared already.
Waivers. Wow.
I haven't heard anything about the Raiders. I have heard that the Patriots are interested.
Patriots are interested in everybody, though. That would be such a Patriots move, too. Yeah, no BJ.
Yeah, it really would.
Whew. Yeah. All right. My first takeaway. All right. The Green Bay Packers, of course, and the Kansas City Chiefs played one of the worst football games I've literally ever watched in my life. That was so sad. That was just so sad. But I will say it did make me feel more confident in the Packers moving forward because I think they have a championship level defense. That's nor here nor there, though. I'm here to talk about one Jordan Love. Jordan Love got way too much criticism. Jordan Love got way too much hate. Jordan Love got way too much blame for this loss. Okay, the offensive line was giving him no help, zero help. Their rookie right guard, Royce Newman, had the third lowest rating out of any Packers offensive lineman starting since 2010, according to PFF. They were just giving him no help. Devontae didn't play at his best, but the defense was cooking and special teams pretty much lost in the game. Since when are we just judging quarterbacks based on one game? This was his first ever start in a hostile environment in which he couldn't even develop chemistry with Devontae that week because Devontae Adams was out on COVID protocol. Okay. This team wasn't even 100% healthy. Had they had David Bakhtiari, had they had some other offensive linemen, had they had their full strength, I'm sure he would have played better. Robert Tonyan, another one. But he, for the most part, I mean, the first half was kind of just meh. He was showing some of the problems that he showed at Utah State, but that fourth quarter drive is what you got him there for. I mean, let's let him play more than one game. You start to look at these rookie quarterbacks. This was deemed like one of the best rookie quarterback classes all time this past year with Trevor Lawrence. What is he doing? He's not having that great of a season. Zach Wilson, neither is he. Mac Jones is really the only one. I mean, Tua Tagovailoa last year. Like, we need to give these quarterbacks more time. That was his first game pretty much in 3 years. Didn't have preseason last year. He played like two halves of a preseason game this year, and that's pretty much it. Then that was Utah State. So I'm definitely coming to the defense of my boy Jay Love, Air Jordan. It sucks that they didn't win though, because I was about to buy his jersey. I was about to absolutely buy his jersey.
I agree with a lot of that. I mean, from the start of it, where you said that was one of the worst games you've ever watched. Same.
Yeah.
Yep. And as far as giving quarterbacks more time and stuff like that, I totally agree. I don't know why it's become this thing. It seems as of recently where it's like Josh Rosen, for example, that's probably a horrible name to start with because the Cardinals were clearly absolutely right about him. But Josh Rosen didn't get any time. He got a season and that was it. He was out. We got guys like Jalen Hurts, who hasn't even played a full season worth of games yet. And people are already willing to give up on him. Tua Tagovailoa, like you mentioned, obviously hasn't really gotten a chance to really prove what he can do up to this point. So, yeah, it does seem like we're giving up on these young quarterbacks a lot faster than we have in previous years. And I think that Jordan Love absolutely deserves a little more time before we're like, this guy either is it or isn't it as far as replacing Aaron Rodgers in the future.
Yeah, I feel like the whole thing with that situation is just purely because of the publicity of Jordan Love. Like if the circumstances were different of how he made his way onto the Packers, if he was a third, fourth round pick, this would not be a story at all. If he was a third or fourth round pick that the Packers saw promise in and saw that like he could be the one backing up Aaron Rodgers could be the one replacing Aaron Rodgers in future, I feel like fans would have just been like, all right, he'll get, get his feet wet. He'll get his feet underneath him. But since he was that first round pick that is expected to, be the heir to the throne of Aaron Rodgers, it's kind of like if Aaron Rodgers would have came in for a game, if Brett Favre didn't didn't have his Iron Man streak going, and A-Rod had to come in for a game, and he played like, all right, like fans probably would have been pissed about that too. They would have been like, oh, this guy's a fucking bust. Why the hell did we take him? It's like, just calm down. Just take a few seconds. Now, I know OG put out a video just like calling him trash and everything. I was like,
saw that.
Come on, man. And which is kind of ironic to me that he's defending Jalen Hurts and then he's saying that about Jordan Love. It's like,
yeah, absolutely.
You gave Jordan Love one game and you giving Jalen Hurts an entire season. Yeah. So like, come on, like just give the guy some time.
Yeah. And I just want to take the time to call out Packers fans too right now, because I hate to say it, but a lot of them on Twitter, I see them all the time on Twitter. They are so entitled. They are so used to 20 years of Hall of Fame quarterback play. They don't know what it's actually like to develop a quarterback, because most I'll admit, I've watched Aaron Rodgers my entire life. So caught the end of Brett Favre, but Aaron Rodgers pretty much throughout. So I don't know anything other than him. But you have to realize that the NFL, you don't draft Hall of Fame level quarterbacks like this every single time. Yeah, you might have gotten lucky twice in a row, but it's not like it's gonna happen a third time. We can't expect that. There's gonna be leaps and bounds that you have to get over. But like, let's just give the man some time. They obviously liked him. They obviously drafted up to get him because they loved his talent. And you know what? I mean, for what it's worth, I didn't think he was the reason that the Packers lost. Hell no. And I actually think he played, not as bad. He outplayed Patrick Mahomes. I'll say that. He outplayed Patrick Mahomes. So not many people could say that in their first ever start.
Yeah, he did. He looked a lot better. And I liked what you said about the defense as well. I think this is the best game that the Packers linebackers have had all year. They looked really good.
No.
And Jordan Love.
Ever. No, I'm not even kidding. Ever. Not even kidding. I've never seen middle linebacker play like that. Even the days of AJ Hawk, Blake Martinez, I've never seen that. Devondre Campbell, Chris, but all right, let me stop. Let me stop.
I mean, I'm not going to act like you're naming like impressive names here, but like,
I'm not, but for some reason it's working.
It's like AJ Hawk never played like this. And that man is going to the Hall of Fame, obviously.
Right? But yeah, I totally agree with everything that you were saying. I think Jordan Love just needs a little more time. There was a couple throws that he made that were like, damn, like that was pretty good. That one falling, he was like spinning as he was getting hit and threw it and got it off. Crazy. I mean, got back to the line of scrimmage at least, so it wasn't a total waste. I like that. But as far as my takeaway, and this is going to kind of go back to the guess that player, we talked about Jeffrey Simmons. You guys were naming some other pieces on that Titans defense. I personally have to make an apology, because basically the entire offseason I was saying this Titans defense is going to be their demise. It's going to ruin them. They're not going to be good. I think this Titans defense is just going to be straight up bad. Definitely not. And I will say, I mean, it wasn't easy to predict, because it's hard to predict guys like Landry stepping up and playing the way that he has been, Jeffrey Simmons stepping up and playing the way that he has been. Kevin Byard has been good for several years, but he's having like a career season right now as well. They've got a young guy in Christian Fulton at the corner position that has been playing well when he's on the field. So this Titans defense, I think, is good enough, if they continue to play at this level, to still carry them to a playoff spot, even without Derrick Henry in that backfield.
Do you guys want to guess when the last day was that Harold Landry didn't have a sack, didn't have a stat in the sack column?
I'm going to go.
What week it was?
I'm going to go week 11, 2020.
All right. No, it's the season. It's the season.
I was going to say,
calm down.
I was going to say like week 2.
It's week 2. Week 2 was the last time he didn't have a number in the sack column. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. It's been on a roll.
That's big.
Yeah. And I like what you're saying there, Luke, because Luke Gage, sorry. Because like I feel like the Titans, especially, like they're not the most like sought after free agency destination, especially for defensive players. They lost players this offseason. They lost. Was Logan Ryan already off the team, or did he leave this offseason?
I want to say he was already off.
He was already off. And I know they lost to Dory Jackson. They did lose to Dory Jackson this offseason.
On the Giants?
Yes. Jadeveon Clowney didn't re-sign. They had Jadeveon Clowney last year. So this is a team that really has just drafted and developed. And people, it came with patience. And Mike Vrabel, I feel like I praise him so much, but I feel like he just doesn't get talked about. This man is a great head coach. He is doing a
100%.
great job with this team. And if there's anybody that knows how to develop defensive players, it's him. I mean, he was a crucial part of those early Patriots Super Bowl teams. And he's done a great job with this team has just done a great job. I think their GM is John Robinson or something like that. I want to say that's his name. I think it's John Robinson. He's done a great job of scouting talent. I mean, Jeffrey Simmons fell in the draft because obviously he was injured coming out of Mississippi State, and people didn't know about that. You got Harold Landry, who was a stud pass rusher coming out of Boston College. That fell to either the second or third round. They took him. They've just Kevin Byard was a late round steal.
Yeah.
It's just so much development. They've done a phenomenal job just making this defense great.
The way that I think about it, or like my comparison, I guess, is that they're like right now they're the Milwaukee Bucks of the NFL. I think they've gone out and gotten big like free agent names that aren't that big. And most of the talent that they have is homegrown. They brought in guys, they drafted guys, and they have built them up to the point that they're out now, and it is paying off for them.
I just want to kind of gloat and say that I chose the Tennessee Titans to be my number 1 seed in the AFC and NFC predictions. And Ryan Tannehill is my guy. He's not going to win MVP, not even going to come close. But you know what? This team is playing as I expected. I didn't think their defense was going to be that great either. I thought that Derrick Henry alongside Julio Jones, AJ Brown, they were just going to go off. And that's pretty much been the scheme for the most part, but their defense has been ridiculous. I mean, like it's absolutely night and day from last year. Even just from like the beginning of the season, because the beginning of the season wasn't too hot. I mean, they dropped a couple losses, one to the Jets, but I mean, they're the class of the AFC right now. And honestly, of the NFL, 4 straight wins against playoff teams, I believe.
Wins.
5. I mean, they
have
have
the longest win streak in the NFL right now.
That's crazy.
The second longest is 2.
Mm-hmm. And I think they have the best resume in the NFL right now, too. I mean, I know some teams have a better record. I know that the Arizona Cardinals are 8-1. But I mean, just look at the stacked teams that the Titans have beaten. And with injuries, too, Derrick Henry, Julio Jones, AJ Brown, like countless offensive line. Their offensive line is still kind of weak, but
yeah.
That's
another thing. I was talking about that in the Discord during Sunday Night Football. I will never understand why their O-line seems to be so good at run blocking, but they're like the worst fucking pass blocking O-line in the league right now. I don't get it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's what they're built on running the ball. So
yeah, it's just
that's
odd.
true. I guess when you're running it 40 times a game, you kind of get better at that than you would if when your quarterback's dropping back 16 times a game. Because I feel like it's kind of a flow thing. There's a fly in here. Holy shit.
Ooh.
Anyway, sorry.
Ooh.
I know I'm gonna Karate Kid this, just chopstick it.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was I saying? I was saying something. Oh yeah, the O-line. Yeah. Run blocking is very much a flow thing. Like you gotta get it going, and then once you get it going, like you're gonna dominate the entire game. Pass blocking is the same way. If you run the ball 3 times in a row, and then you ask your O-line to pass block, and then you run the ball 4 times in a row, and then you ask them to pass block again, like the flow there is so
there's
hard
no rhythm.
To get back
there's
in
no rhythm.
Exactly, to get back in the pass blocking mode. Yeah. So it's tough, but I feel like that hot take. If this is true, if my prediction is true, I think they will get significantly better at pass blocking over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, because they're gonna have to do it a lot more often.
Exactly. Or I could just be stupid. Or I could just be stupid and that totally wrong.
That.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So here's the thing. Lamar Jackson. I don't know how to put this because I think he's the MVP this year. I think he is. Like I said it ever since like he screwed me by not picking him in that one game a couple weeks ago. I will not pick against Lamar Jackson for the rest of the season. I said it. And then this game was going on. I'm watching it and I'm like, fuck me. I'm such an idiot. Why didn't I pick up against him in this game? Because I kind of wanted to pick the Vikings a little bit, but I was like, nope, I'm sticking to what I said. I'm picking Lamar Jackson. This man, he's kind of like Derrick Henry in a way, where like the game gets going, defenses get tired. This man's still running 4-3 and you got to stop him. And and not only that, he could throw. He's not the best thrower in the world. I have been on record criticizing him for saying that his throwing is going to get him in trouble because he's like an average to slightly above average thrower at best. He's doing it, man. He might be throwing a couple picks. His stats might not look the prettiest, but man, when it comes clutch time, he's going to get some first downs, and Mark Andrews is just going to be open. Every time Mark Andrews is going to be open. But no, Lamar Jackson really is surprising me. I kind of could have been seen as a little bit of a Lamar Jackson hater after his MVP season. He had never really returned back to what he was in that season. And man, I'm just so much on the train right now. I'm so much on the Lamar Jackson hype train right now because it's just the stats might not look pretty, but he just finds ways to win, and he's wearing out these defense. The defenses cannot stop him. I mean, I said, defenses are going to catch on. They can't catch on because right now, if he can't run, he really is doing it with his arm a little bit. Like so I just, right now, my takeaway is I think that Lamar Jackson is the MVP of the NFL.
I'm right there with you on the bandwagon. I love what Lamar Jackson's doing. I love watching him since he came in the league. I'm not going to say he's the MVP. I'm going to get to that in a little bit in my take, but dude, he's unstoppable. I mean, talk about Energizer Bunny. Like that's exactly what he is. Because he outruns you every single time, and you get tired, like you said. That he tires out the defense. He runs the ball. He runs the clock out. Like, what can you do?
Yeah,
we've never seen a player like him. It's honestly like it's leaving me speechless. Like he's that good, and already with an MVP under his belt. I mean, what is he? 21, 22? Like I don't 24. Know. 24. Oh shoot, I thought he was way younger. Okay.
Still young. Young.
Yeah. I mean, a little older than me, but yeah. No, it's just I don't know how long, or I don't know if he could keep this going long term, because we've never seen a quarterback like him. So we have nothing to base it off of. Yeah. Maybe the running gets to him at one day, knock on wood, but dude, I just don't see anybody stopping him. I mean, you could try game planning him. Teams have been trying to do it for years now, and he just runs right by everybody. He keeps putting the world on notice, but at the same time, he's putting nobody on notice because he's never in the MVP discussions. I'll get to that in a little bit, like I said, but man, he's Lamar Jackson. He's that guy.
He's for me, he's the MVP as far as value, but he's not, he wouldn't win it because of statistics.
Yeah. They're
going to give it to the guy that looks statistically better. And I feel like there's quite a few guys above him right now as far as that goes. I mean, you look at guys like Matt Stafford throws 2 picks, one being a pick 6 against the Titans, and his statistics still look significantly better than Lamar Jackson's. So I think that he's valuable. I think that he deserves the award for what he's doing with his team, especially with the amount of injuries that they've had. Shout out to what they're doing, because I mean, Deshaun Elliott is also hurt now, and it's
a new person every week, dude. Give the Ravens a break.
Speaking of Ravens, if you're listening, Trey Boston, pretty good. Free agent. Don't know why he hasn't been picked up yet. Honestly, you're missing a safety. Go get him. That would be my recommendation. But yeah, I totally get what you're saying. As far as value, yes. As far as stats, I don't think they'll give it to him.
Yeah. His QBR is better than I thought. He's 11th in the league in QBR. So he's right there with the top 10. He's got 7 picks, which doesn't look great.
That Colts game, really is what's putting him up there statistically.
Yeah.
The rest of the games are if you just look at them on paper, they don't look that good. If you watch the film, the eye test looks a lot better, but the Colts game is what's keeping him up there with the other guys.
Yeah. It's the fact that he'll be down in these games. And then I don't how many games has he came back from this year?
4 double-digit comebacks. So
crazy amount. Yeah. He's insane. He's crazy. It's just when the 3rd and 4th quarter hits, I would be shocked if he doesn't, because he has this, notion around him that he doesn't come through in the playoffs. The way he's playing right now and the way he's battling adversity, coming back from multi-possession, deficits, I'd be shocked if he's not in the right mindset and right ability to be able to make a deep playoff run with this team. Barring, as long as they stay healthy,
he looks like a guy that can beat the Titans again.
and they're only going to get better in the colder weather. I mean, that's their offense is predicated on the run.
Yeah.
All right. This kind of pains me to talk about, and I really don't want to. But guys, the NFL MVP right now, through 9 weeks. Okay. It's not like he's going to win it, but we're going to see. It's Tom Brady. Tom Brady, if I had a vote, which hopefully one day I will have, definitely not.
Crazy.
The right, imagine.
Oh my gosh.
Dream big.
I'd vote for Russell Wilson just so he finally has an MVP vote on his fucking stat line. It's ridiculous. Every time I don't mean to, but every time he has an amazing season, somebody else has a like clear cut MVP season.
I know how you feel.
Oh yeah, Drew Brees.
Trust me.
Yeah, exactly. Same shit.
And Aaron Rodgers stole both of those, which is kind of crazy.
I know. Fuck that.
I like how we're Seahawks, Saints, and Packers fans. There's a good triangle right there.
Yeah.
It's a good. All right. Yeah. Tom Brady is the MVP. I know he's coming off a loss to the Saints, but the guy's ridiculous. I mean, he to me has been the most consistent quarterback in terms of like, people thought Josh Allen was going to win MVP. He was the favorite last week. He obviously scored 6 against the Jaguars, which I predicted, by the way.
Yes,
which I predicted.
Yes, you did.
Let me go
ahead and do it. I am sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I apologize. I talked shit. I was like, there's no fucking way.
I'm gonna.
And you know what? No. Earlier you said that the Packers Chiefs game was the worst game you've ever watched. 9-6 against the Jaguars.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, but it was Josh Allen. Josh Allen. That's
you know what? I'm gonna make a bold take here and say that Josh Allen significantly outplayed Josh Allen in that game.
Oh, I
agree on that.
Yeah, 100%.
Agree on that. All right,
100%.
Can I just say I'm so tired of those? I'm so tired of hearing.
I don't think they'll ever get old. I don't think that. Not okay. Let me be more specific. The Josh Allen that went 7th overall is significantly outplayed. Yes. Is that not distinguished overall? Yeah. Craziest.
That's the joke.
Craziest stat.
Back to back years.
In 50 years, this game is going to be on Jeopardy or something. It's probably. Like this is going to be a great like trivia question in like a couple decades.
100%.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, you listening? So
Tom Brady.
Yes.
Tom Brady.
Yes.
Yeah. Right now, let's pull up the stats. 25 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 2,600 passing yards. He's on pace to break the passing yards record. He's on pace to really have statistically maybe his best season of all time, best since 2007 for sure. I mean, his 2017 MVP was kind of. I still count that as Carson Wentz's MVP. I forever will.
It should have been.
I forever will. It's injuries suck, but dude, I can't deny it. I think he's outplaying everybody. Josh Allen had a bad week. Kyler Murray lost to the Packers at home, got stuffed at the through an interception, and even though it wasn't really his fault at the end to lose the game. And then you see Colt McCoy go to San Francisco and hang 35 on their dome. So I think that takes away from him a little bit without Nuke Hopkins or AJ Green, by the way.
If AJ Green catches that and the Cardinals win that game, do you think that Kyler Murray's above Tom Brady in the MVP conversation? Right
yes.
Now?
Yes.
Possibly. Honestly, probably. Yeah. But I mean, shoulda, woulda, coulda at the end of the day. So listen, I think Tom Brady right now is playing like the best quarterback in the NFL. And you guys don't even understand how much I hate saying that because I can't hate Tom Brady. It's inevitable. He is the GOAT, but it's just like, I hate saying it. I'd hate it.
Yeah.
Hate saying it.
I mean, I can't disagree with that. He just, like you said, has been really consistent so far this season, probably the most consistent of any of the guys that are in the MVP conversation right now. Even Matt Stafford, who's been hanging up there with him, like I said earlier, through those 2 picks against the Titans, didn't look great. He's had a couple kind of off games. Tom Brady just has the one against us. I mean, we're 2 of the 5 picks, and I'm not trying to toot our horn or anything here, but he just looks really, really good. And I don't really see him like coming back and falling off of this cliff or anything after the bye week. I think that he'll continue to do that. And I think that he has a really good shot at the MVP. I don't think he's on track for 6,000 yards anymore like he was.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit less. I think it's like 5,600.
Yeah, because of those couple games where Leonard Fournette really started to step up and they were running a lot. But yeah, he's still on track to have some crazy stats.
I just want to say, though, real quick, to your point, Tom Brady always has, like, historically is just not good versus the Saints. So it's kind of like he's gonna lose to the Saints. It's kind of like the Miami when he was in New England. You guys are kind of like the Miami in that sense. Yeah.
It's like Aaron Rodgers when he plays Jacksonville. It's just
when he actually plays NFL games.
Yeah, when he plays in Jacksonville.
The COVID
yeah, specifically.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My takeaway.
There it is.
This one, I feel like it's not a hot take or anything like that. Well, it might be. I mean, it might be to some people. Boys, the AFC East is open. We thought the Bills were going to run away from it. The Bills and the Patriots have the same amount of wins right now. The Bills just have one less loss because they've had their bye week already. Mm-hmm. The Patriots could still come back and win this division, and it's crazy to say that, but the Bills are just crazy, like, inconsistent right now. They had that really high when they were like blowing teams out for a few weeks there. But it's like that Pittsburgh loss. What happened there week 1? You want to kind of toss that one away because it's early in the season. But then you've got this loss to the Jaguars where you only put up 6 points. Josh Allen looks really rough. And that's after coming off of their bye week. So it's like, what is going on here? I don't know how much you can trust the Bills. I love Josh Allen. I want to see him play well. I had him as an early MVP candidate, like before the season even started, because I think that he can play up to that caliber, but they've definitely got some things to figure out.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a crazy take. I don't think so at all. I do think that the Bills do end up winning the division because I feel like the Bills have mostly played like dominant football. And then when they play bad, they play really fucking bad. It's like there's no in between. Like I think they've had like a couple shutouts this year. And then also they've lost to these shitty teams like Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's not terrible, but Pittsburgh, like, they should not have lost that game. And then they go down to Jacksonville. They struggle with Miami, but they just got out of there. They go down to Jacksonville, and Jacksonville, I mean, plays better than them. It's just, they're a weird team, but I think they're going to get there. I think they're going to find themselves. But the Patriots are right there. The Patriots are right there. So when you say AFC East, I know you just mean Pats. But
yeah, it's open toward the top. The Dolphins aren't going to contend, obviously, and then
I don't know. It's Jets. Whew.
Yeah, ooh,
maybe Mike
White, White, MVP. I don't know.
I have to be accountable because I think I said about 4 weeks ago that I thought the Patriots are one of the worst teams in football. And they've just gone on an absolute tangent. Yeah. I mean, wins against the Chargers. They blew out the Patriots 54-13. I mean, they held strong against the Cowboys. It looked like they were going to win that game in some parts. They held strong against the Bucks too. So really, I shouldn't have given them that much, I guess, hate, I'll call it. But
also props to JC Jackson. Because all of last season, people weren't giving him his flowers because they were like, he only covers wide receiver 2s. He's looked phenomenal this season. Looks really, really good.
Now that he's the number one guy there. They're going to have to pay him. But just looking at the Patriots schedule, they got the Browns next week. The Falcons, I think that could be an easy win. But the Falcons are now they would be in the playoffs today.
They're
as the 7th seed.
Team.
Yeah, 4-4. Then they have the Titans, the number 1 seed. Then they play at Buffalo, at Indianapolis, and then against Buffalo after their bye week. Their bye week is before the Colts game. So they have a tough schedule moving forward. I think those 2 Bills games are going to be pivotal in determining who wins the AFC East. But Mac Jones has been on a tear recently. He's been tearing players' legs off too, coincidentally. So
unfortunately,
yeah. Let's not do that one again, Mac. But yeah, Patriots are on a roll. Can't deny it. Bills have not looked good as of late. Maybe they peaked. I need Stephon Diggs to get some touchdowns, please. What's good with this? Sorry to go off on like a tangent, but like he's pissing me off.
It's a weird year. Does this feel like a year where one of the top teams is going to win the Super Bowl? Because this does not feel like that type of year to me. This feels like a year where the top teams are going to get bounced in the first couple rounds, and then some 500, some like 2011 Giants like a Giants team.
Super Bowl year
just comes in here and just wins it out of nowhere. That's what this year feels like to me. Because the top teams, think about the top teams that people were saying were Super Bowl contenders. Like the Bucs are really the only team that's kind of, lived up to that a little bit. Yeah. Other than that, everybody thought the Chiefs, they're not going to be like,
it's because we keep calling them the best team in the NFL.
Yeah.
If we keep doing that, it's going to keep changing. So it's all revolving around us, clearly.
Yeah.
Personally, I think the Green Bay Packers are the easy Super Bowl favorites, probably will win, especially after they get Odell.
Yeah, no bias at all.
Team in the
no
NFL.
bias.
No bias.
No bias.
No bias at all.
No bice. It's like that every year.
Just
hey,
Luke,
can
you show us that dollar bill again? Can you just prove you're non-biased?
Yeah. Right here. Sealed.
Okay. Yeah.
Get a close
See,
shot
guys, no bias at all.
Yeah, no bias. Yeah. By the way, if you want to get your face on a real dollar bill, go to youronthemoney.com, enter code GIFT at checkout to save 10%. So
not sponsored.
Not sponsored,
by the way.
Yeah, that was
if you take that dollar bill out of that case or whatever, though, make sure you sanitize it.
Yeah. I mean, money's it's just a sticker that I thought it was like an actual like printed out dollar bill. It's just a fucking sticker. It's a sticker.
Oh,
$7 sticker.
See that?
Listen, I didn't get it. I didn't get it for money purposes. I got it to hang it up on my wall. But granted, I'll admit it's not the best purchase I've ever made.
Yeah.
But it is a purchase that I made. So
all right, boys. And with that, I think it's time that we go ahead and move on before we get any more off topic here. But before we move on to our next topic, I did just want to say a quick word from Overtime. The Overtime app is absolutely fantastic. Yes. If you love sports, you love social media, we said it time and time again. If you've been listening to us for a while, I highly recommend that you download this app. It is a very easy way to, one, be entertained, and two, keep up with everything going on in sports as far as news, scores, whatever you want to do. It's all there. So if you want to download it, it is at the link in all of our bios. That's at Totally Unqualified on TikTok, at Extra Points for me, at Football Fan Zone for Luke, and at Jake Maltese 3 for Jake. You can download it at any of those. So I definitely recommend that. And with that being said, we're going to get into something else that has to do with apps in fantasy football versus IRL football, because there's been a lot of conversations and stuff like that lately. Somebody asked in the Discord for us to talk about this a couple weeks ago. How is fantasy football skewing our view of the NFL or skewing our view of these players? Do you think that it's positive? Do you think that it's negative? Do you think that it hurts the game in a way? Because we end up in these situations where, like we were talking about the unfortunate situation with Henry Ruggs a couple episodes ago, people are bringing up fantasy football. Not the time to do it. What do you guys think? I'll let you go ahead and start, Luke.
It's a double-edged sword. All right. Fantasy football, obviously extremely fun to play. People have profited off of it. It's almost like it's pretty much not a job, but it's kind of almost like a side business, sort of. I've made my fair share of bets. I've won my fair share of bets on fantasy wise, but it's a double-edged sword in the way that people think about their teams first rather than the actual player. They disassociate the player from real life. They think that he's just, hey, that's my flex. Hey, that's my starting running back. No, these are actual real people. These are real people with real hearts and actually have feelings, right? So I don't think we should be immediately going, oh, this guy, like you said, Henry Ruggs, for example, who just, obviously probably won't be playing in the NFL ever again. People are saying, that hurts my fantasy team, not rather than, hey, rest in peace to the victims and sorry to their families. Like it's unfortunate in that way, specifically in that for that scenario with Henry Ruggs. But I just don't like the way that it disassociates people from the actual game, from actual real life. People think that they're just pawns, and that's, I guess, the basis of it.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. With that being said, fuck Derek Carr for not getting me enough points this week. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. But yeah, it's.
I said fuck Stephon Diggs earlier and said all that.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think the tie to fantasy football is it's kind of just brings us back to when we were kids and, we're all
Mhm.
building our own Madden teams and wanting to be, because, we all know we're not going to be in the NFL. So this is our closest way to be a part of it, and it makes us feel like we have our dream jobs of like managing this team of like players that we all looked up to. And like, it's awesome. It's so cool. But yeah, at the end of the day, we'll put it in a very well way. It's a double-edged sword. You take the good with the bad. It's a fun app, but at the same time, you're going to have those people that think about, their fantasy team before they think about the fact that these are actual human people. And you know what? That kind of happens with owners in real life too. Sometimes, throughout the past, all the shitty owners that you've had, you hear stories and they're like, oh shit, they forgot that this, like, they don't think they didn't even realize this guy was like a real person that had real feelings. They just, don't give a shit about him. So I don't know. It's just a weird psychological mindset, but I will say in terms of, moving away from the psychology of it, it's also kind of skewing the way we rate these players in a way that's similar to how Madden Ultimate Team, I feel like, used to do with like player, like with offensive linemen. Like when you're 12, you're not paying attention to who's the best offensive lineman in the NFL. You literally probably only got it from Madden, like the Madden cards. Who had the elite cards in Madden? Those are the guys that you assume are the best in the NFL. That's what's happening with fantasy football. Just because a guy is getting thrown to 15 times a game, you're like, oh shit, he must be a really good receiver. Maybe he's not. And, maybe he's a Cole Beasley that's just getting targeted 13 times again because Stephon Diggs can't, I don't know why. He just can't get open because he's playing all the, whatever, for whatever reason. So, Theo put out, we were talking about this, Theo put out a tweet that said, fantasy football should be abolished, which is obviously stupid. Of course it shouldn't. But because of the fact that people think that Najee Harris is a better running back than David Montgomery, which I think there is a debate there, but whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think that's just clear cut like David Montgomery is better. But you get those things. Just because they're putting up a bunch of numbers doesn't mean they're the better player. So
some players might just be in better situations than others.
Exactly. Exactly. It's the whole thing with Russell Wilson with his offensive line. It sucks. Who's another player that I can
We've talked about Allen Robinson a bunch of times.
Allen Robinson
doing well in fantasy, but he's a great player. He's a great receiver.
Exactly. That's the player I was thinking of. Yeah. Exactly.
Julio Jones never scored touchdowns like ever for multiple seasons. Like he would go like the whole season 4 touchdowns. So
for sure. Yeah, and I feel the same way about a lot of what you guys are saying. I think that as far as like the psychological and how you look at players, as far as like, they're humans. You need to take into consideration when they get injured. This is affecting their livelihood and stuff like that. It'd be like if you were to go to your job and get hurt on the job, and that, because you can in the NFL lose your job for getting hurt on the job. You know what I mean? It's a little bit different. People don't take that into consideration. But as far as like, how we rate players and stuff like that, I totally agree with that too, because like we just said, even with Allen Robinson, it's, he's a receiver. He cannot make the quarterback target him. He doesn't write up the plays. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. You shouldn't hate players or love players solely based on their fantasy production. You should really take the time to actually look into it yourself and get to know these players and understand that they are human beings. And I wanted to mention that as well. Like, I think that there is a positive side to fantasy also, especially for the casual fan that doesn't watch it on a weekly basis or keep up with it as much. Playing fantasy football adds another layer to it where you can get into it if you're not quite all that interested. And it helps you learn a lot more about the players and what they're doing and how their team is performing and stuff like that. So I think it's all about in how you use it and the way that you look at it. And I think just like in anything, there's a certain level of maturity that has to come with it, because if you're immature, you're going to look at it as, well, this guy got hurt and is out for the season. That sucks for me. Less so than like that guy got injured and is out for the season. That really sucks for him. So I think there's ups and downs to it. You just have to look at it in the right way.
A couple of weeks ago, I saw a video that went viral on Twitter of George Kittle at a San Francisco Giants game. This is back in, I guess, the playoffs. But a fan went up to him and said, "Hey, you suck. You're hurting my friend's fantasy team, or like you're playing shitty for my friend's fantasy team." And George clapped back, said, "Tell your friends," put it so elegantly put, "suck my dick." Boom. Oh, that's because people don't realize this is a business for them.
Yeah.
Like this is their livelihoods. They could give a shit about your fantasy team. Now, I'm sure a lot of them have fantasy teams of their own too. Like, don't get me wrong.
Good amount of them.
Austin Eckler starts himself every week. So
that's a good mindset to have, especially when you're playing so well. It's a double-edged sword at the end of the day.
It's fun, but it's not to be, mismanaged or used.
Yeah. And just the balls to go up to an actual NFL player and criticize him for how have you I swear to God, these people have never been a part of a team. Like, yeah, I can get pissed at a player, but then I remember back to the times where, I played soccer and I played like shit, but my team won. I wasn't sitting there like I was happy. I was like, fuck yeah, we fucking won. Like, they don't give a shit if they're producing. The only time they give a shit about their production is when it comes to contract time. But on a game-to-game basis, they don't give a fuck if they have one catch or 20. They just want to help the team win. That's all they're in this for. So to have the balls to go, I swear to God, this is somebody that is completely disassociated from reality. If you actually do this, if you actually go up to an athlete that's making millions of dollars, not to be the best in the business, to help a team win. That's why they're getting paid millions of dollars. Okay. It doesn't matter which way, shape, or form. They're there to help the team win. If you go up to them and criticize them for not getting like 10 catches and helping your fantasy team, the fuck, do you really have nothing better to do with your life? Seriously? Like, you're meeting an athlete that you're probably never going to see again in real life. And the only thing you can think of to say is to be angry at them for not helping. Like, seriously? Yeah. That's so stupid. That's so stupid. You think if I saw Russell Wilson, the first thought that went in my mind, I'd be like, dude, did you have to fucking get hurt? Are you fucking kidding me? The fuck is up with that? No, I'd be like, holy shit, it's fucking Russell Wilson. It's so it baffles me that people can go up to like athletes and actually.
It's less so the balls that they have on them and more so the lack of brain cells.
Exactly. That too.
They're so entitled. Yeah. That's back to my 100%. Point that I was making earlier about the Packers fans. I mean, a lot of fantasy players are the same way, unfortunately. So
yeah, I think they're more concerned with their millions of dollars than you should be with your couple $100 you might win from your family.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But with that being said, we are going to go ahead and move on to the next topic. We have got Thursday Night Football. This one probably not going to be great. But we'll get into it. We've got the Ravens at the Dolphins. The Ravens are 7.5-point favorites in this one. And before we get into the actual game itself, I realized I haven't given our records in a little while as far as the picks and stuff.
I was curious.
Yeah, that's on me. My bad. But I do have them this time, so I am going to go ahead and give them to you guys. Currently in last place, we've got Jake with 72 correct picks and 64 incorrect picks. But you will get an additional 5 from the spreads. We've got me in second place.
Luke overtook. Oh my God.
Wow.
I am 83 and 53, and I will be getting plus 4 on the spreads.
So behind.
I'll be getting plus 4 on the spreads. I got the least amount of points on the spreads, by the way. And I'm the one that does the most betting probably. So that should probably say something about me. And then Luke is in first by 1 with 84.
It was the Jags-Bills game. It was the fucking Jags-Bills game. It was
the Jags-Bills game, if you want to look at it that way. Yes.
That's how I'm looking at it.
84 and 52, and you will also be getting an additional 5 points because of the spreads. And then the TU crew, technically, they're really in first place. But they're in first place right now. They are 87 and 49.
Damn.
Yeah, that's where we stand. We still have to include, obviously, like our scores and player of the games and stuff from the Thursday Night Football games. I will be doing that as well. But you guys know how it works. We pick a winner, we pick the score prediction, and we pick a player of the game. So, Jake, if you want to go ahead and hop right into it.
Yeah, I just want to start out with, I'm 9 games behind. 9?
Yeah.
Fuck, pick the Dolphins. You got it.
Shit. No, I'm not going to be stupid. I mean, yes, I got like nothing to lose now, but it's like, I mean, I could still go on like a 16-0 weekend and just kill it. But yeah, no, I'm obviously picking the Ravens in this game. I don't think that's too crazy. It's in Miami. Not that means anything. Can we just talk about how shitty these Thursday night football games have been this year? They've been terrible.
Like that every year to me. I feel like Thursday night games are always so bad, and I don't know why that is.
We did get blessed with Packers Cardinals, but that was pretty much once in a blue moon.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like there have been talks to get rid of Thursday night football. I think those talks
mad about it.
I don't think anybody would be mad about it. Yes, it's like, okay, it gives us football halfway through the week. We don't have to wait as long. The most time we're waiting is 2 days without NFL football.
Yeah.
But like, I'd rather wait for good football, Like, I don't want to see this game. This game is never a primetime game. Ravens Dolphins is not a primetime game. It shouldn't be. So anyway, that's my little rant on that. Yeah, I'm taking the Ravens in this one. I don't know. I'm not afraid of Jacoby Brissett. I'm sorry. Like I think Lamar Jackson's the MVP of the NFL. -7.5 is fuck. I don't know. This seems like a little bit of a trap game. Like the Dolphins like have a lot to play for. Like they've been losing so much, and like I feel like they'll put up a fight. So I'm actually going to take the Dolphins to cover the spread here of 7.5. I feel like not by much. I feel like the game will be 27-20 Ravens. So I got the Dolphins just covering the spread there. And yeah, I mean, my player of the game is going to be Lamar Jackson. He's amazing.
I usually don't like going for high spreads like this. Like anything over 7 is a little fishy to me, but I'm all over this time. I think the Ravens blow out the Dolphins. I know it's in Miami. I don't really care. I think they are by far and beyond the better team. Yeah, the Dolphins got a 17-9 win over the Houston Texans. Who the hell cares? The Baltimore Ravens are that team. I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with Lamar Jackson. I think if you really want to talk about most disappointing teams this NFL season, I think the Dolphins have to be in that conversation. They have to be, because they were playoff contenders. We thought going into the season. And we thought that they were going to have top 10 defense, possibly. That all went down the drain. Xavier Howard, yikes. But no, I think the Baltimore Ravens blow out the Dolphins in this game. We can't go same player of the game, can we?
No.
Okay. Damn. Who else can I go with?
Go Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews has been killing it.
I'm gonna go Devontae Freeman.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm gonna go Devontae Freeman. Cap. I'm not going Devontae Freeman. I'm going Patrick Queen. I'm picking the Ravens to cover the spread. I'm picking them 41 to 17.
Okay.
Damn. I do want to mention, Luke. The Ravens almost lost to the Lions this year. So
yes,
they have waltzed into shitty team territory and have almost lost.
Yes, but that was at the same time that the Lions were on a hot streak. So I don't know.
On a hot streak of losing. A hot streak of losing. They're 0 wins.
A hot streak of somewhat competing with teams.
Yeah. They were on a hot streak of not losing by double digits. So.
Yeah.
Solid. Okay.
Yeah.
I am also going to take the Ravens in this one. I feel like that's pretty much, brainer here until the Dolphins come out and absolutely embarrass all three of us. And I am going to take them to cover the spread as well. I think that they can cover the 7.5, and my score says that as well, as I've got the Ravens winning this 35-18. A little bit of a weird one there. I decided to go a little quirky with it. And then my player of the game, give me Rashad Bateman to have his first real big game. I think he goes over 100 yards in this one.
I like that.
He's bound to have one sooner rather than later.
For sure. He's been looking good. He's been hauling in catches and stuff like that. He's been overshadowed a little bit, but I think with him being covered by CB2, most likely, I think that he can go out and he can have a big one.
Did you see Devin Duvernay's one-handed touchdown catch?
That was insane. That was crazy.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Damn. They have an underrated receiving core. I'm sorry. I think with Sammy Watkins in the mix,
Marquis Brown has really stepped up this year.
He has. I mean, he still has some drop issues here or there, but I mean, Dude, all I can remember is that one diving touchdown. I think it was against the Broncos. I want to say the diving touchdown that he had straight into the end zone, where it was like 5 feet away from him. It was crazy.
Yeah. I haven't seen anything as far as Odell being interested in going to the Ravens, but I have been seeing people say that they think it would be a good fit and stuff like that, and the Ravens might be potentially interested, which that would be kind of wild. But
That would be wild.
Know. I don't see it happening.
I think he's going to one of our 3 teams. If I had to put it down, I think Packers, Saints, or Seahawks. And honestly, real talk, I think I'm leaning Seahawks because I feel like that's just such a Seahawks move. By the way, I got an update on my phone that he's most likely going to be dragging this out to tomorrow. That's when he's going to make his decision. So
yeah, I've heard that he is trying to join a team as quickly as possible, but he's also not trying to rush the process either. He wants to make sure that he makes the right decision. So we'll probably be waiting on an answer. Well, we might wake up to one. So keep an eye out for that first thing in the morning. But with that being said, I think that is going to wrap it up for us this time. We appreciate you guys so much for listening. Thank you as always to you, crew. We cannot thank you guys enough for tuning into us week after week after week. But yeah, it's going to be all for us. If you guys have any closing thoughts, go ahead.
Yeah, just make sure to follow us all on social. I'm Football Fan Zone. Jake is Jake Maltese 3. Engage is, of course, Extra Points, as well as our Totally Unqualified accounts, our Instagram, our TikTok, all of our Twitters. Make sure to do it all. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and Apple Podcasts. Make sure to leave us a rating and review. That was a mouthful.
Yeah, guys, and once again, make sure to download the Overtime app. Big things coming with Overtime. I'm going to keep kind of teasing that before we're allowed to announce it officially. But just so while you still can, go download the Overtime app using our link. It's a great app. And with that being said, we'll see you guys in the next one.